And we are good to go.
All right, so for the digital tool that I will be talking about to help manage students' behavior and academic progress is called MSP, which stands for My Student Progress. It's basically an online website that gives the teacher the opportunity to post grades online and only post grades that he or she teaches in, so she doesn't have access to the other grades that other teachers have. And also, the students have their own login account, and their parents have their own login account as well. MSP gives the teacher the opportunity to record their grades, post up the
Maybe he's frozen.
and semester to semester. So basically, averages and does everything for you for your grading, and it's something that is required by the school. Not every teacher or every teacher uses it because it's required by the school. It's not something that a teacher just decides to do by themselves.
Okay, I have a question. Is this a subscription that the school uh, purchases, or is this something that's provided throughout your state, like your school-wide districts?
It's something that the school decides to do. It varies from school to school inside um, each district. It's also something that can change year to year based on the administration or the school's decision. But as far as my experience with it, it's either the entire school is using it or they're using something else.
Cool. Anthony, what would you say from first from a teacher's perspective and then from the student's perspective, or some of the pros and then some of the cons, some potential flaws with this tool?
So some of the cons would be if if you're some of the cons would be if you're trying to get in contact with a student, like let's say he or she is absent and you post the assignment that they missed. It's hard to kind of get that forward that a message to them through that assignment, and you can't actually post content on it. So, like, let's say if you have like a vocab test or something, you can't put the words that the person has to study or a practice test. It's simply grade, the name of the assignment, and then the results. There is no like sentences or essay you can format or put a PDF file or a Word document into it. And also, you can't. There's no message system. But as far as some of the pros, basically from the teacher side, if you have like a there's like a icon or a section where if you put missing assignments for the classes that you teach, it will print out a sheet with the names of every student and which assignment they need to do. So it kind of manages that for you instead of going in and finding each assignment and writing it down. So it's a good time saver as far as that goes.
Cool. Thanks for
All right.
sharing that. So, Valerie,
Yeah.
you did some research on Class Dojo, yeah?
Yes. I found that that was a very interactive site that helps to connect, support, and develop the student skills. It helps the teacher to celebrate the moments that are happening in the classroom while being able to communicate either by email or text, by sending home a code so that the families can join on the site. Um, it allows for the students to have ownership based on the points that they receive from the teacher, and allows for feedback to be presented, but privately, specifically to the student, so they can see their progress. Um, it allows for students to create like their own avatar, a monster, if you will, so their character, so there's buy-in and it's engaging. And they also can create their own portfolios, so that way they can see the progress of their work along the way. The thing that I thought was very unique about this was that it teamed up with various schools or programs to teach about like empathy and create a positive culture. And this that empathy piece was teaming up with making caring common project, which was at Harvard School of Education. But um, it also partnered with Yale for emotional intelligence curriculum that was based around mindfulness. So that social emotional aspect aside from just teaching core subjects, and it's completely free, which I definitely liked because we have so many resources that we have to purchase, that having this free resource to use is beneficial because it's always going to be free and something that you can use across the board with various schools, classrooms, and school districts, while also maintaining the privacy of the students through FERPA, or the COPA Act, which is Children's Online Privacy Protection, which I think is really important when you're dealing with things online, in an online community. And it allows for translation into 35 different languages, which helps to break the barriers for communicating with diverse populations within the school.
Cool.
So, quick question for us: is Dojo? So they create like their profile, um, and they create an avatar for it. What else can they do inside their profile, as far as like interacting?
Well, the interactive piece is where the teacher provides feedback, and the points that are awarded based on whatever skill it is that they're demonstrating or showing proficiency in, more on behavior side. So it's not academic at all. Um, and the teacher is able to provide feedback specifically to the student in regards to that area. They get to create their avatar, but they also create student portfolios based off of their progress. So that's the interactive piece of the student portion.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's interesting to me that this is something that's not content or academically driven. So I'm kind of curious how you think that some schools or some administrators might feel about that, and when to what's sort of the right balance of when to incorporate this. How often should it be used during class, do you think?
I think it should be used all the time, because in regards to behavior, you're always addressing things that are occurring within the classroom or even outside of the classroom. And this being point based allows for, if you are in the hallway and students aren't in line, one of the teachers at my former school used it as bucks, like money or virtual money, to spend within the virtual store in the classroom. So she would have supplies, and they would literally use their points to purchase supplies, whether it's notebooks, erasers, stickers, or whatnot. But if they weren't adhering to the policy, she would give them fines, and they would have points deducted from their overall balance. So it helped to address those behaviors even when outside of the classroom. So I think it's necessary for all times so that there's an accountability factor.
Uh,
What would you say is like the benefits and limits to Class Dojo?
I think the benefits are for classroom management, but also a way to, if used in the sense that the teacher did from my former school, to teach students about monetary rewards and being able to use it through math, in their lessons as well. But it doesn't allow to post those assignments in um, in the platform. So that's where I think, you can't go back and see assignments that are missed or whatnot. It's basically driven towards behavior.
One of the things I kind of stumbled on the other day was Google Classroom. I don't know if any of you heard of it, but it's like
Hmm.
being pushed. You can like put like grades, missing assignments, and you can alter it up. So like if some students are at a different level or need more challenging, you can like change up how the assignments are assigned and stuff like that. But I just wanted to touch upon that because like that seems to have like the whole everything kind of with feedback, behavior charts, study guides, and it's all like on the cloud, and you can't really lose it, and you can access it from everywhere.
Yeah, my former school did utilize that, but it's a contractual. platform. So you do have to pay for it. It doesn't have
Uh,
all of the features available for free.
yeah, my school just got approved for it, so it's like, yeah, I see what you're saying now.
How about you, David? What about
Cool.
your?
So I did some research and some heavy analysis on TeacherKit, and TeacherKit is a really interesting product that's primarily used for management. I think it's a pretty amazing tool for the teacher. So the main features of it is that it's used to log student attendance, it's used to design seating charts for students, you can add behavior notes, you can also record grades, and based on that data, you can examine it over time, and then you can create pretty in-depth reporting that can be shared with students and parents. So it's a pretty fantastic management tool for the teacher. It's not something that's interactive. It's not really used in real time. So students aren't necessarily engaged. I think even though schools can use it regardless, K through 12, I think I would definitely recommend it more for high school students who kind of want more just data rather than something like Class Dojo, which is going to be, as you mentioned, a much more interactive sort of tool for them to use. Definitely the benefits of using it is that it creates efficiency in the classroom for the teacher, and it can create organization and understanding for the students and parents. Some of the flaws, I think, is that it's kind of a bit of a challenging process to get this thing started if you're not the most tech savvy person. There's a lot of input of information, and they have come up with ways of making it a little bit easier to streamline the process, it seems, from the earlier versions. But a lot of the feedback and commentary I've read about it is that it's still a little bit challenging from that perspective. There is a free version, and most of the primary key features are there for the free version, but you do have to pay to get more depth and more detail when reporting um, if you want to do that. So, as I mentioned, sort of a very just bare bones functional type of thing that's, I think, great for management and definitely designed more from the perspective of the teacher and trying to create a really just smooth, efficient classroom.
Yeah, it sounds like you're able to retrieve a lot of data from that to review not only with colleagues but also parents to identify areas of struggle.
Definitely, definitely. I think the benefits for the parents are pretty great because you can not only can you log behavior notes on the students, but you can really track these notes over time. You can track their attendance and you can track their behavior, and you can sort of customize these settings too. So that can provide you with insight that you can share with the parents later on. So yeah, do you guys have any sort of thoughts as we close this session out on like what a just recommendations for what a fantastic digital tool might look like after we looked at all of these?
Um, I guess it kind of depends, like what kind of situation you're coming in as for a teacher. So, like if you're coming into a class where students are kind of held to a high standard and behavior isn't really that high of an expectation or an issue, and I think if it's the opposite of that, Class Dojo is definitely the way to go, especially at, like with a younger group where behavior is more of a factor. And so I would say about like kindergarten all the way up to about fifth grade, but depending on your kind of uh, like I said, classroom situation, it might be valuable all the way up to middle school. That, that's just my opinion. Um, Looking at it after hearing everybody's
Yeah,
kind of.
I think if you incorporate like a unique strategy, for instance, the one example that I keep referring to, because it was, I cannot explain to you how well managed the class was in earning those points or when they received the fine, like it was detrimental. And they really were the best class in the whole school because the teacher came up with a unique way to incorporate it into her classroom, which was instead of just awarding points, she used it as a monetary system where then students were able to turn that into something tangible, like an incentive. Whether it was a pencil or an eraser, it was something that they accomplished and got to purchase with, virtual money or the points that they received based off of their behaviors. So they were able to make the correlation between good behavior and receiving points and being able to turn that around into an additional incentive for themselves by choice.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think my sort of closing thoughts on this would really be that I think that all of these tools can be highly beneficial, and definitely sort of when used as the name indicates as a tool. And like you said, if you can sort of extend it in certain ways and complement it with some other teaching strategies, all of these can be really awesome and create fantastic management. And yeah, I
Did
think
you
they're
guys
great.
already create your free dojo, class dojo account? I
Not
suggest you do it.
yet.
I suggest you do it, especially because it's on assignment. So we're gonna go do that right now.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well,
Plus it's free, so I
exactly.
applied it actually to my school because they already have it in some of our classrooms. So when I created my account, it said what school I work at. I clicked on it, and then I have an administrator that oversees it, and it's going to add me to my actual school. So,
That's pretty awesome. I've definitely, yeah, I've worked with several teachers who have used it and just stand by Class Dojo above almost anything else.
right, me too.
So,
So,
all right,
okay.
guys, great convo. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
We'll
thanks
see,
for the redo,
Happy Thanksgiving.
guys.
we'll see you in
Happy
class.
Yep,
Thanksgiving.
no problem.
See you in
Have
the
a good
next
night.
module.
Good night.
Yep.
Bye.